physically. Last year you've seen a lot of penalties, from him. You haven't seen that as much, knock on wood. Physically, he's done a really nice job. I'm just, in my mind, I don't think he's given up a sack this year himself, and so he's really improved in that aspect.
He's one of the guys who's been a constant. That you've had so many guys in and out. I mean, how important is that to have a guy like that who's been out there, every game?
It's huge to have a guy that can be there. We had I think the 1 week that he was struggling, and then he didn't start the game, but he ended up going in and he was able to play through it. So that was good to have.
Can you walk us through what transpired at quarterback last week during practice to get to the point where Brandon's the starter?
Has Fedora said what happened? That I saw. Somebody printed something, and I don't know who, because somebody sent it to me, that there was arguments with him and Heckendorf, and then that is completely false. That is not what happened. Okay, so again, we don't talk about sickness, injury, but the bottom line was throughout the practice, Brandon was able to practice every rep. Okay, and so he was able to start. So it wasn't about, I can say this much, it wasn't about him being benched or anything of that nature, and it definitely wasn't about attitude or an argument. So that's probably as much as I'm allowed to say.
Gotcha.
But I think those two things are important for people to know, that it have anything to do with being benched or any kind of argument with the coach.
Do you guys have a policy as far as what someone's temperature is, where they don't play? If it's like above 101 or 102, they don't play?
It's strictly a doctor's decision. We don't make that decision. So whatever the doctors tell us, as far as a guy can practice or can't practice, play or can't play, then we go with that.
If something had happened to Brandon, would he have been available, or is he not available on Saturday?
Again, that would have been up to the doctors. If they said he could go, he would go, and Nathan was ready to go, so we would have been okay there.
Larry said that you guys made some adjustments, I would assume at halftime, because you had the two big runs in the third quarter by Michael, and those runs were a result of some of those adjustments. I guess he said you gave them something that maybe they hadn't seen. Was any of that up front with your guys?
Well, the first big run, was a lead outside zone play. We've been running quite a bit this year. It's good against an odd front. We ran it into the boundary, so that's something we've done, but maybe they don't see it all the time. And really, you watch that run, it was great that everybody had it, everybody up except for the backside safety, and Michael had great patience. He cut and kind of waited, set up a block, and then he hit it, and then we actually ran the same play again and got down to the one and then punched it in on the zone. So, and then the big one for the touchdown, they brought their 4 to a side blitz, and the guy saw it and made the correct call and had it up, and again, he saw where the hole was and bounced it outside. And really the key to that play is everybody was blocked, but Cabrera at receiver came in and cracked the safety, because they're basically in a zero look, so that safety's the one guy left. And he cracked him, put him on the ground, and he really got a 2-for-1 because the guy has a man follow him in, and Mike cut outside, and you were able to obviously get a touchdown out of it.
You guys have talked a lot about getting big plays on offense. It's a big part of what Coach Fedora's offense does. You hadn't had many for a while. To get two bang like that, I know that you didn't win the game, but is there a measure of growth that you take from that?
Any positive is growth, and I thought there was a definite physicality to the whole offense that was better Saturday than it had been. And when I say that, I'm talking receivers, running backs, tight ends, O-line, everybody. You saw some kids on the perimeter really blocking hard. You saw Fritz really doing a good job in their outside backers, and you saw guys up front really straining. They were basically a zero cover one the whole game, where they loaded up the box, had extra hats, and even in those plays you saw good 4, 5, 6 yard runs with guys just being physical, and so that was positive to see, no question.
What's the challenge, and when you've got so much adversity and young guys are having to play, maybe some that probably wouldn't normally be playing, when you go into film review and you talk to them and you look at it and say, okay, well, for their position they did okay, but it's not good enough to win the game. How do you kind of balance that?
Well, it's still, you're a coach, and it's about teaching. It's about getting better. It's about seeing things that we didn't do well, correcting them, and they need to improve the next week. Sometimes if you physically just don't get it done, then you just, it happens. But you want to eliminate any of the mental mistakes, whether this route needs to be one step more, whether this protection needs to be fitted up this way. it's a continuously trying to improve these guys, you know, and hoping it, you know, it clicks. And then, you know, guys, the more reps guys get, you hope they get a little bit better.
What's the rep situation for quarterback today or tomorrow in practice? What can you tell us about that?
I think, you know, it's the same as every week. Those guys are all, you know, we run our 1s and 2s in there. We always get Elliott some reps, so we're just kind of rolling them through like we normally do.
Appreciate it.
You bet.
Thanks, Cap.
You bet.